The Zenarian Alliance War College did not advertise its beast handler track as a school. They advertised it as a filter every cycle. Recruits arrived full of pride and left either hardened or broken because the program was not built around pets. It was built around kryxfang cubs, apex juveniles, shipped from the outer rim, engineered by nature, and honed by Warsmall now, but in a year each. One would grow into a living weapon, capable of shredding armored infantry and turning battlefield trenches. Into Graves, most handlers survive by doing what the old manuals preach: head pain control dominance, and no one embodied that doctrine more than instructor. Eva Mock, massive Kranter veteran with one eye filmed over in scar tissue, DRAEVIC, had a reputation. Even beyond the academy, did not train handlers, he trained fear. His philosophy was simple: break the cub before the cub grows large enough to break. Youth amphitheater was carved like a pit, rows of stone seating circling a sand-filled training floor below, and in the very back row, where the lighting was dim and the laughter was loud, sat Emma Chun, only human, 17 years old, the youngest candidate in the entire cohort, accepted because Earth's entry into the Alliance had created political expectations. Instructors called it diplomacy, the students called it a joke, DRAEVIC called it a problem, made his opinion clear from day one: new are fragile, you are soft, you will quit or you will bleed, either way you will not graduate. EMMA did not. Argesh did not. Pasorsh just watch. DRAEVIC demonstrated proper handling. His assistants dragged a cub forward on a restraint loop shock. Rod chain collar, harsh commands delivered like hammer blows. Cubs snarled, not from aggression, but from pure animal confusion. And in the back row, Emma sat with the 3 cubs assigned to her section designated only as Units 7, 12, and 15. Did not shock them. She did not yank their neck. She did not scream, chauffeur them her lunch in small pieces, let them sleep against her boots during lecture sand. When they trembled at the sound of metal on stone, she leaned down and whispered words in her native language, soft, steady, like a lullaby meant for something that did not yet know. The world was cruel. DRAEVIC's mandibles clicked in disgust whenever he noticed said pathetic. When they mature, they will gut you human predators. Speak one language, Earth. The cubs would growl at him when he said it too. And I-15, the largest, tracked him with golden eyes that did not blink. I-12, lean and fast, bared teeth. Whenever his clawed hand lifted the shock rodent. Unit 7's smallest of the trio did not roar, stared like he was thinking. I would touch their heads lightly to fingers calm. And sure, and all 3 would settle, not obedient to Nected's weeks into training. Everything changed. EMMA arrived early like always back. Ronap book open, listens, rewritten in her neat human scriptin. The training floor, the cubs were loose in the sand. Pit chasing each other in what looked like chaos. The slammed shoulders rolled snap jaws inches from faces, then leapt away without drawing blood toe. An outsider it looked, violento. Anyone who understood pack bonding, it was trust being built in. Real time, with doors opened with a heavy clang. DRAEVIC entered like a storm wearing armor. Did not walk to the podium first. Walk straight toward, Emu said, pointing with a trembling claw. EMMA looked up. Commu failed the aggression evaluation. Your units refused the practice targets. He did not refuse, Emma replied. They assessed. DRAEVIC's translator. Collar screeched slightly as his tone sharpened. They are war beasts. They do not get to assess, they obey. The targets were not threats, Emma said. They knew the difference. IRE's IXIs have ruined them, he hissed. You have poisoned them with your weakness. Turned and grabbed a neural prod from the wall rack, not the academy grade. Trainer Medela field issue unit, thumbed the dial, and pushed it past the regulation limit, past pain compliance, right into lethal territory. Several students shifted uneasily. Even the ones who laughed at knew the rules. DRIs did. Not Kure will show you, he growled, stepping toward Unit SEV in the ad. Smallest cub had been sitting near Emma's row, licking sand from his paw, ears perked at her breathing. Me stood not dramatic night, loudest presentment, she said quietly. DRAEVIC laugh at a sound like grinding metaller. What human he mocked you will cuddle. Me into surrender lifted the prodthon without warning. He changed direction, swung toward Emma instead, choosing her as the lessonth. Discharge cracked the air with a blue-white snap. For a human nervous system, it would mean agony, burned synapses. Possibly permanent damage. EMMA did not have time to dodge. Did not need Tuth Cubs moved like poured. Shadow Unite 15 hit DRAEVIC's forearm. Mid-swing jaws locking down with bone-crushing forceth prod flew from his hand and skidded across stone Unite. 12 went for his legs, slamming into the joint and ripping him off balance. 12 crashed into the sand heavy enough to shake the pittance. Unit 7's Mel Gentle Unit SCV, and the one that purred when Emma scratched behind his ears, the one that fell. Asleep to her whispering, UNIT 7 launched straight for the throat teeth. Flash of blood sprayed orange against pale furtive eyes. Gurgled stop. Emma commanded on word sharp. Pabsolutal 3 froze and Stantley teeth still bared claws dug into sand muscles locked. Like statues carved from living fury, DRAEVIC was Ali Vaberly's. Breathing turned wet and ragged as he clawed at the sandstring to understand how the weak human had just turned 3 war beasts into a disciplined wall of death. Emergency response. Team burst through the door, weapons up. Targeting lasers flickered onto the cubs. Heads back, one guard shouted, "We will terminate them." "No," Emma said, stepping forward, cubs pressed against her legs. Rumbling with protective ragtails, stiff eyes still. On the threat check, the security feed EMM, said voice steady. He attacked me with a banned neural prod set. Beyond lethal limits, they defended their Handlera Pausathon. A tech officer pulled up the footage and everything changed against review board. Convened within the Howard, he played the recording 3 times. No one argued the facts. DRAEVIC violated protocol. He escalated to lethal force. He initiated the attack that cubs responded with what any bonded pack would do. Defend. The board ruled it justified. Defense Durakov survived, but he never taught again. His name disappeared from the lecture plaques. Removed like a stained footage became required viewing at the academy. Not because of the violence, because of what came after. The recording did not end with the response team. It ended with Emma sitting on the floor of the sand pit, hands steady as she gently cleaned orange blood from 3 sets of cloche. Something soft in her native language, a human song, and the cubs' apex predators destined to terrify battlefields purred like earth house cats, leaning into her touch like she was hometh. New instructor arrived, the next cycly, a wise old Ilarian handler with calm eyes and hands that did not shake. Watched Emma for 1 full lecture. Without speaking, then after class she approached and crouched beside the back row. Did not train them, she said quietly. Ime glanced down at Unit 7. Asleep in her lap, she did not smile, did not boast, simply. No Dedi raised Ime's instructors. Gay softened. DRAEVIC had been wrong. Fear was not the only language predators understood. They understood love. They understood loyalty. They understood loyalty. Femu and family. Protected family and time. Those 3 cubs would grow into the most decorated war. Beasts in alliance historithi would tear through enemy lines like living stormsty. Would ignore every handler command except one because they did not belong to the academy. Belonged to the small human in the back row who treated them not as weapons but as friends worth protecting, just as they protected her asterisk. Thanks for watching, join the pack, and subscribe to Neon Cub Tales. A like and share to help this story reach more viewers. Comment 1 word to describe Emma and the cubs, and tell me what title you want for the next episode.